Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm KDO, and this is Moon Mama Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another Astrology Peephole. Yay! Alright, today is the 4th of September 2021. We're in a waning crescent moon in the sign of Leo as of, let's see, it happened late last night, 22:58 p.m. Bangkok time. Sorry about the truck, the bike, whatever. So, what's going on today? Interesting stuff. We've got a lot of astrology happening. All month long, we've got a busy month in astrology. Today is no exception. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is the moon is in opposition with Saturn. Saturn right now is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, which means reimagining old structures in our life in a new and integrated way. So, what I'm getting here is there's this face-off at the moment between you and your old self, yeah? The old and new structures are meeting. What is tried and true and traditional and established is looking at this newcomer going, who the fuck do you think you are? And the newcomer's like, I know I may seem new, but you should really listen to what I say because I don't think I'm full of shit. All right, it's this very, 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 very interesting energy, but this is an opposition, right? This is a tug of war. This is, you guys can pull against one each other, but it will only make the rope break, and then you'll have to pick up all of the chaos and the aftermath of it. Pick up the pieces. If we're realizing that the old and the new both need to compromise in some way, what we thought was true, doesn't matter who you are, wasn't all true. We didn't have the whole picture. We were still resisting something which was keeping us from seeing something fully for the way that it is. But it's the best of the old can stay. It needs to be expanded, though, and evolved into new ideas. And the, most productive parts of the new is definitely to be pushed forward, but maybe we don't have to get too radical too quickly. All right, it's like, again, we want to learn to crawl before we walk, before we run. So maybe the ideas that you had for the new structure, the new face of Saturn, was a little bit too intense, all right? Maybe just a little too much. You know, we're going from 1 + 1 is 2 all the way to advanced calculus instead of just like taking a stop off at algebra and understanding that first, you know? So slowly, they're saying we've got to integrate now. We're in, the sun is in Virgo, and it's a really nice time to sort of integrate and not really act yet, but to think about how everything all fits together, to analyze, to gather information, to figure out what's what and how we can best kind of look at it all. Getting a really objective view of everything from above. Really looking at things for what they really are from an unbiased, unaffected position. And it's hard for us to do that, yes, I know, but it's really, really important. Best advice I can give you for this particular transit and what they wanted to give you is they say, allow what doesn't stick to fall away. They're saying some of you guys are trying to glue the leaves back into the trees, but it's autumn, my friends. And in the fall, the leaves have to fall. It's time for death and rebirth. You must let this death happen in order for the new leaves to grow. You can't stick the old ones back on the tree. That's just asking to poison the whole being. You know, it's like in The Shape of Water. The guy has his finger bit off, right? And then he reattaches it and it just slowly festers attached to his body until it's like basically making him crazy. Yeah. So it's that kind of idea. Just let whatever is dead fall away and wait patiently for the new buds and the new leaves to come out when it's time. All right, we have 3 transits that I want to talk about that I feel are very closely related now. We have the moon in a sextile with Mercury, the moon in a sextile with Black Moon Lilith, and we have the moon in a trine with Chiron. Now, Black Moon Lilith, retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Chiron, retrograde in the sign of Aries. Mercury, currently direct motion. We are not quite in the shadow of retrograde yet, but in the sign of Libra. And Mercury in Libra is a super compassionate, beautiful energy, right? So, what I get here is I give in. Uncle, I give in. All right? Expansion and further growth, healing of emotions and the subconscious, all right? Past life, you name it, any of these things that we've been trying to heal, all of those things that we felt ashamed of, all of the wounds that won't heal, all of the issues that we're just not matching up, all of those things that keep coming up and won't leave us alone, we are finally going, I give in. Okay, I'll fucking look at it. Okay, fine. Fine, I will drop this resistance and I will look at whatever it is that you want to fucking show me, because obviously I don't have any say in this matter. And the universe is like, welcome to my office. Now you can come in. Fantastic. You're not being a dick anymore? Great. Have a seat and let's discuss. So this is, I'm looking at the resistances. I'll look at my resistance now. But you're having compassion in all of this. Mercury in Libra is very compassionate communication, very compassionate intellect, very compassionate, integrative kind of ideas. So you're having compassion for your mistakes, but equally compassion for your trespasses. Now, you may never ever hear me say anything like this ever again, because I am not a religious person. I am very spiritual, but I'm not a religious person. Yes, I was brought up Catholic, all right, but I never really went very far in my Catholicism practice. It never really resonated with me all that well, but the community aspects I always found very beautiful. And right now I want to call upon the community aspects of the Catholic faith, or Christianity in general, and just bring to you one line from the Lord's Prayer. Some of you guys are like, oh my God, cool. And some of you guys are like, oh, really? No, just bear with me on this. It absolutely has nothing to do with religion. Really, it doesn't. The line that I want to remind you guys of with these three transits is, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespassed against us. Okay? This is like, we are currently forgiving those who have hurt us equally as we are forgiving ourselves for inviting in the energy that hurt us, because we're now aware of the bigger picture and we are now taking responsibility for our own actions, and we're now no longer resisting. A lot of you guys, that resistance was ignoring your own partisanship. You were very much responsible for your own situation, and you refused to look at how your own actions had led you to where you are. You were very much blaming everybody around you. Okay, and now you're finally going, okay, I've literally got, it's like I've literally, like, it's almost as if you were kind of going like, I need to start being a Queen of Swords, right? In order to love myself, I need to cut away the things that aren't good for me, okay? And then you like cut this friend out, and you cut that thing out, and you cut this person out, and you left this place, and you did this, and you did all this, cut. And then you find yourself sitting alone in an empty room in the dark. There's not even a fucking light bulb in this room, because you've literally cut everything out, because you were like, everything, like, this discomfort is still here. There's obviously something that's still poisoning me, right? I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. But then you find yourself in the dark room, right? And it's empty. There's no furniture. There's not even a light bulb. There's like, it's like in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, where it's like, there's nothing left in the house. Like, they even took the frickin', they even took the hooks on the wall, you know, like there's not even hooks on the wall left, right? There's nothing, okay? And you're still miserable. Okay, well, if there's literally nothing but you and you're still misery, guess what the problem is, my friends? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you've taken everything else away and you're still miserable, guess what? The pain is within you, and the misery and the problem is is internal. And you can't cut other people out of their life or tell everybody else how to heal in any way, shape, or form to find your own happiness, okay? You've sought the instant gratification of being a leader, of being a mentor, of being a teacher, of being a healer, of being all of those wonderful things. But you still can't find your own peace in anybody else. And if you've still got problems, and you've still got pain, and you've still got frustration, and you're sitting in an empty room with not even hooks on the wall, and you're wondering, well, who do I blame next? All right. The moon is in a sextile also with the North Node, and I think that this is really lovely, because this is your view of your true future is finally coming true. All right? And you know why? It's because you're feeling less confused about it, right? You're not trying so hard anymore. You're not struggling. You're not constantly being a warrior. You're not constantly with this sword in your hand, swinging it unabashedly. You've calmed the fuck down for a second, and you've gone, okay. And you've realized the things that we search for us are the things that we search for are searching for us also. But they only find us when we stay still for a moment. Okay, it's that imagery of like, you know, that cartoon where it's like the people running in and out of the doors, yeah? It's like they're constantly moving, right? So they're never actually catching up to anybody. But if one of them just stops, then something will cross its path, right? It's like in I used to teach scuba diving, right? And when they teach you about if you lose your buddy, if you lose some like the person you're supposed to be connected to, yeah, you're supposed to always be in a pair when you're scuba diving, yeah. If you lose your buddy, you don't go swimming all over the reef looking for them because that they could be doing the same thing and you could just never miss each other. So you stay exactly where you are and you look around for a minute. And if you don't see anybody, then you're going to make your way slowly to the surface and find your buddy on the surface. Yeah, it's hard to find people underwater, but it can be a little easier if you bring your head up to the surface. But the thing is you don't want to abandon them entirely, right? You want to give them a chance. Okay? Stay there for a minute. If you don't find them, you don't find them, right? You go to the surface. You get your head out of the water, out of the emotions, out of this situation that feels like it's bogging you down. And just take a breath of fresh air. Air is all about truth, right? About intellect, about communication. Take a breath. Get yourself out of the emotions. Get yourself into your head for a little bit of a second in a balanced way, right? Your body is still in the water, but your head is just above the water. And then you can look around and see what's meant for you, okay? What else is on the surface bobbing around? Because if you both came to the surface, yeah, you can find each other again. But we have to sit still first, right? We can't just keep on running around waiting, like looking for that thing that we're searching for constantly. Just take a breath, take a chill pill, and let it come to you, okay? But be sure that you're, like, don't be searching out that instant gratification anymore, my friends. It doesn't help. All right, I'm going to pull a card from the After Tarot. It's a beautiful deck. Just one of these, and then I'm going to get you guys a little bit of advice from my bag of tricks for the card of the day. Let's see what we have to offer. Team of Teams. Give me, please, one card. Ooh. I think I'm going to take it. It's the Nine of Swords. Okay, this is the After Tarot. The concept of this deck, it's like what would have happened a few minutes later from the actual Rider-Waite, okay? So it's the aftermath of the energies of each of the Rider-Waite cards. So the Nine of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite, if you remember it or if you know it at all, is a man sitting in bed with 9 swords above his head, with his head in his hands. He's woken up from a nightmare. Something is torturing him. Something is driving him crazy. It's not doing so great, all right? Well, he's no longer crying and whining about this. In the After Tarot, he's grabbed one of those swords, and one sword is always about truth. Yeah, it's Archangel Michael's sword of truth. He's grabbed one sword and he's slaying the dragons that have once imprisoned him. Okay, this is a 9 too. 9 is a beautiful number. It's an individual number, but with regards to our peace in the greater picture, with regards to us being whole and part of Source still, even though we are living on this earth as human beings. All right, so they are calling for you to whatever has been keeping you awake at night. Some of you guys, you're like me, it's been coffee and caffeine, is that you really like things like that, but when you drink 12 cups of them, you can't sleep at night. So maybe some of you guys have to limit yourself to maybe 1 cup of coffee a day or 1 Coca-Cola, whatever it may be that's giving you caffeine. Maybe be careful if you're literally having trouble sleeping with the anxiety and all that stuff. Caffeine is a stimulant in a way, right? So it does feed everything. It's eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, remember? You consume a stimulant, it's going to stimulate everything, not just your alertness. It's also going to stimulate your anxiety, because those two things come hand in hand. So remember that, my friends. That's a message for somebody. Careful with the coffee. Careful with the caffeine. But either way, you are now come to a point where you're not going, woe is me, woe is me. Why is this dragon torturing me while I sleep? Why won't it let me sleep? Well, you're realizing that you are the dragon, right? You're the only one that's been torturing yourself. So you have to slay this shadow side of yourself and move forward to a more healthy being, so that you can, a healthy being who sleeps at night and gets the necessary rest and gets the necessary nutrients for their body, right? Very important. Okay, right, I am that, and frustration. Okay, so this is the advice for you, my friends. When you're feeling frustrated, write out what you're feeling. Okay, check in with yourself. This is something that I discussed with 2 friends yesterday. Is that yes, things may be crazy right now, and it could be very much by your choice. Like maybe you've got a new job, or maybe you're starting a new semester, or maybe you've got a new hobby, or you're training for a marathon or some sporting event or whatever it may be. You've got something that you're working towards, right? And there's a lot going on. So you are feeling very overwhelmed right now. And that's normal because the energy is really intense. But it's good. It's a good kind of overwhelm because you're working towards your betterment, right? So they're just saying, it's okay for you to be busy. It's okay for you to do a lot of stuff. Virgo season is going to be very busy for many people. That's a Virgo energy too. It's just like having your hands in all the pots, right? It's okay to be busy, but just make sure that you constantly check in with yourself so that you're not depleting your own cup. Let's have a flashback all the way back to Moon Mama Musings origins, okay? The OG back on my Dune original personal page on Instagram. In those ones, I talked a lot about how you have to fill your cup first before you fill another. And I mean, this is a concept that so many spiritual workers work on. Like, this is not anything new to anybody, right? You know, okay, you gotta fill your cup, self-love, okay. But like, your cup is meant to be full all the time. That's its natural state. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to about it or not, your cup's natural state is full, not fucking empty, okay? It's not meant to be full. Or it's not meant to be empty all the time. It's meant to be full. And the thing is, when it's full, it's this exponential thing where it fills itself up more and more and more and more and more. When you're filling your cup, you're more and more and more able to produce more and more water for this cup to fill. So that's when the excess is used to nourish other people. Think of it this way. If you got your paycheck, you're going to pay your bills first before going and buying all of your friends a drink. Yeah? So be careful that you're not buying all your friends a drink and then looking back and going, fuck, I can't even pay my hydro bill and my rent. And I can't buy food for the month. Okay? Don't get yourself into that kind of a situation. That's the idea with the cup, okay? Do not give away what's yours before you take care of your necessary parts, all right? And for some of you, it's gonna be hard to navigate right now because there's gonna be an adaptation phase. But when you feel that frustrating, do a little check-in with yourself, get a little journal, and just write about how you feel right now, okay? And no matter where you are, think about what you could do to possibly make your current situation better. And I mean, even if you are in a fantastic mood, what could I do to make this better? What could I do to make this more wonderful? You know, like reach for the stars, right? We want to keep on going higher and higher. So even if you're already feeling great, how can you make yourself feel better? But vice versa, other side of the coin, right? If you're not feeling great, maybe how you make yourself feel better is removing the pressure to feel better. Okay, so maybe when you check in with yourself and you're like feeling super overwhelmed, you just say to yourself, okay, how do I make this better? By not thinking about how I make it better, by just accepting where I am right now. So put yourself wherever you need to be. But slay those dragons, baby. Dragons are beautiful, 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 beautiful creatures. But there's like these weird little sneaky ones. This doesn't really even look like a dragon, right? He's like just like a little demon who's like trying to disguise himself as a dragon, all right? The real dragon within you is the warrior. The real dragon is the beautiful strength and the ferocity and the animal instinct and all of that wonderful stuff. That's the dragon. Okay, all of the extra stuff, that's the sneaky little lizard who's disguising himself as a dragon. And this is not beautiful. This is just conniving and it's bullshit and it's slippery and blech. All right, that's the thing you want to kill. Nourish your dragon. Nourish your dragon. But get rid of those sneaky salamanders pretending to be dragons, okay? All right, my dears. That's it for me. I will see you again tomorrow with something. I don't know yet what. I might be on Instagram. I might be here. Who knows? We're figuring everything out lately, right? But we're staying fluid and staying present. Anyway, I'm sorry for anything you're going through if I've made you feel a certain way. Thank you so much for being a beautiful person, beautiful being, and lending your energy to this circuit that I hold so dear. Thank you to your guides and my guides, the Ascended Masters, the angels, the ancestors, the dragons, the you name it, whatever energy is here in order to give us these nice, clear, concise messages for our highest good today on the, what is it again? What day is it today? The 4th of September, 2021. All right, my dears, I love you very, very much. And to the moon and the stars, infinity and beyond and back. And I accept this and I hope you do too. But if not, hey, it's all good. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Bye.